Good day. Welcome to you from the International Network for Christian Higher Education. I'm Shirley Rules, the Executive Director of this network. This is the first video that we have produced in what we hope will be a quarterly series to tell you more about the network and what we are doing. INCHE has special roots. And we also have now many global branches. But I thought today in this first video we should talk about those roots. Historically, INCHE is not a North American creation. INCHE began in 1975 in South Africa. A Christian philosopher with interests and commitments to a Reformed theological tradition thought that he and his counterparts would all be better if they compared notes from different global regions. They would sharpen each other's knowledge and skills and thinking. So he invited Christian philosophers and theologians to a conference. There were 130 delegates and more than 100 additional guests that came to the conference. And they did indeed help each other in that first gathering. In subsequent years, INCHE had conferences in many different places around the world. Often we would have people from 20 to 30 different nations who would come as presenters at that conference. All were committed to Christian higher education, but learned from each other across a variety of cultures. And then, out of those conferences, the network published books and articles so that the resources could continue to be available and continue to sharpen ideas and practices in the future. By the 1990s, network leaders began to realize that there were Christians in many different theological traditions that cared about faith-infused education. And so the network board of directors consciously decided that they would open up the network to become a network that still had some Reformed accents, but was much more ecumenical and inviting to Christians from many different traditions. And so they did that, and we have now become a distinctly Christian network, but a very ecumenical one. So where is INCHE now? We are still committed to the mission and the roots with which we started, namely to serve Jesus as Lord by fostering the development of Christian higher education worldwide. And in that statement, you can see that our commitment to Christ as a resurrected Son of God is central to our work and our mission. This has meant that Christ's claim as Redeemer of the whole world affects every square inch of our teaching, our learning, our scholarship, and our practices. And we want our graduates to be rooted in those kinds of Christian understandings of the world around them and their calling in it. So our network seeks to infuse biblical understanding and Christian practices in classrooms, in athletics, in student life, in libraries, in research, in community service, in every aspect of what it means to be part of a Christian higher education community. But how do we do that? How do we strengthen, as a network, how do we strengthen Christian higher education? We do this by creating professional development opportunities for Christian higher education leaders throughout the world that connect them to each other. When we shape leaders, they in turn form students and graduates for excellence and for service. So we serve students by enriching the faith and the knowledge and the skills of their leaders. Now, INCHE is on 6 continents for conferences, for webinars, for online resources, and regional projects. We empower Christian colleges and universities through these initiatives. So now you know a little bit more about this network. And we invite you to join us in this mission. We have different categories of membership. You can join as an individual, as an institute, as a college, as a university. All are welcomed. And if you are a current INCHE member, please take advantage of the benefits that you have available to you. You can connect to your colleagues across the world through our online directory. You can submit a proposal for an upcoming conference. You can become engaged in a regional initiative. Or you can tell us about your leadership needs and we'll try to match you with resources that you will find helpful. Our goal is to serve you as Christian educational leaders throughout the world. That is our task, and that's what we do. Thank you for being with us today.